Hi, this is Dr. Fredrick Peters, the fitness doctor, and this episode is titled Don't Eat This or That. It's an idea that I had after reading through the literature on the Eat This, Not That website. Thought I would give my own personal opinion on things. So, according to their site, they say don't eat butter and instead eat margarine. Well, my take is don't eat either of those things. Margarine is not healthy, it's fake. I advocate to eat olive oil. Olive oil is high in oleic acid, which reduces inflammation. It's great for cancer fighting properties and so forth. The next one, they say don't eat ice cream, instead eat frozen yogurt. I'm going to take it a step further and say make yourself a smoothie in your blender or Vitamix. I love using banana as the base. Like I'll take a frozen banana and I'll use some PB Fit and then some cacao powder. And cacao powder is fantastic. It's rich in flavonoids and polyphenols and whatnot. And so with the banana, the PB Fit, the cacao powder, and maybe even some oats, it's a fantastic alternative to ice cream and frozen yogurt. The next one, they say don't eat creamer, instead use whole milk, organic whole milk. Well, I take it again a step further and say don't use dairy milk at all. Instead, opt for almond milk and go for the unsweetened almond milk. Dairy is a pro-inflammatory substance. We know this now. And so I personally used unsweetened almond milk. And then with that in mind, I drink Silk because some of the almond milks out there have carrageenan in them, and I don't like that. It's a coagulating agent, so I avoid that as well. Instead of soda, they say drink diet soda. I'm going to say don't drink either of those. Drink carbonated water. Diet soda actually still has artificial sweeteners in there, and that mimics the same insulin response as regular soda, so your body still perceives that as being sugary, and what you're wanting to avoid is that insulin spike. I'll take like Pellegrino, which is carbonated, and I'll squeeze a lemon or a lime in there, or I'll even use some tart cherry concentrate, and I'll put that in with it. It's fantastic. The next one, they say don't eat a bagel, instead go for an English muffin. Neither of those. I say eat some Ezekiel bread. Ezekiel bread is sprouted. It's fantastic. You'll find it in the freezer aisle at the grocery store. It has lots of protein, lots of fiber, and it's a much better alternative. And if the taste kind of makes you kind of feel off, I toast it. When it's toasted, it's great. Instead of a flour tortilla, they say use a corn tortilla. I say no. You want to use what I use is an egg white cauliflower tortilla, and it's a company that makes them, and it's called Egg Thins. They're only 8 calories, and there's 0 net carbs. They're like a little crepe. They're thin, but they're a great alternative to both of those tortilla options. The next one, they say don't use a cream-based dressing. Instead, maybe use a fat-free dressing. I don't like fat-free dressings either. They're full of additives, preservatives, sodium. Instead, I use a vinaigrette or an olive oil combination, and one that I really like is by a company called Bragg, and they make a Bragg vinaigrette, which is, they use apple cider vinegar, but it's sort of masked by some of the other ingredients in there, and it's super healthy. I don't get reflux from it, and their vinaigrette is high in acetic acid, and it's also great because it helps lower your blood sugar. Instead of cheese, standard cheese, they say use low-fat cheese. I say skip the cheese and go with, skip the cow cheese and go with a goat cheese. Goat cheese is high in conjugated linoleic acid, and that is a good fat burner, and also it's lower in lactose than cow cheese, so it's less inflammatory causing. And more nutritious. You'll have higher levels of vitamin A, vitamin D, and so forth. Instead of potato chips, they say go for baked potato chips, and that's an okay option, but I'm going to take it a step further and say go for baked veggie chips. You'll see baked kale chips, baked black bean, baked garbanzo bean. There's lots of things out there. You can even make them at home if you have like an air fryer, and that's a great way to use little to no oil, and they come out crispy and fantastic. And you could reduce the salt content or the sodium by adding like garlic powder or some like chili powder or something, and that's a great alternative. Next, they say instead of a pasta, use a whole wheat pasta. I say ditch the pasta and go for a alternative that's a vegetable-based pasta. I even use like spaghetti squash, or you'll see black bean pasta. You'll see lentil pasta, garbanzo bean pasta. One is called banza that I buy. Fantastic alternative to your traditional pastas. They say instead of regular sushi, opt for brown rice sushi. I say a way to cut some carbs out is just get rid of the rice completely and get some sashimi. I'm not a big fan of raw fish, but if you like that, it's a great way to get your fix and not get the carbs. The next one along the same kind of lines there is instead of regular white rice, they say opt for brown rice. Ditch the rice and go for cauliflower rice. I know I'm kind of big on this cauliflower kick, but it's so low calorie. You're talking like 145 calories less per cup. Or you could even intermix them, a little bit of brown rice, a little bit of cauliflower rice, and it kind of blends very, very nicely. Instead of sour cream, they say use Greek yogurt. I say ditch the dairy and instead go for almond yogurt. And I look for the ones that are lower in sugar. A lot of almond yogurts that you'll find have a lot of sugar in them because it makes it nice and sweet. But you'd be surprised, some of the ones that are out there will have very low content as well. So look and be choosy. Instead of pizza crust, they say go for a thin crust, instead of a regular crust. I say, as you might assume, go for the cauliflower crust. If you've seen these in the grocery stores and you've tried them, it's very delicious. They get nice and crispy, and the difference is kind of negligible. But again, kind of a little quick alternative there. And the last one, instead of a donut, they say go for an English muffin or a bran muffin. I'm against that. I say make a homemade muffin. We'll take some oats and we'll combine it with some almond milk, some PB Fit, some of the cacao powder, and kind of combine them and put them in a muffin tin, and it bakes nicely. It's a quick thing to take on the go, and it's very, very simple and tastes delicious. So there it is. There's my don't eat this or that alternative. Thanks for watching. I appreciate any questions you have. I'm happy to answer, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.